Wells Fargo. Our support of Aggie students goes beyond just banking. By supporting News 22, we're giving back to the community. Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far.
Tonight on News 22, a reward is being offered for information on 2 robberies. NMSU students march for diversity. And Marlene Barraza shows us some kids with a healthy way to express themselves. All that and more on News 22 Wednesday.
Serving southern New Mexico, this is the award-winning KRWG-TV News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Amanda Adame.
And I'm Shelby Capp. Las Cruces Crime Stoppers is looking for the individuals who burglarized the Cholitos restaurant and the Red Hawk Golf Club.
The crimes occurred about 4 hours apart but have not been linked together. There was over $10,000 worth of damages done to the interior of the restaurant, and over $17,000 of equipment was stolen from the golf club.
But once inside, they didn't really damage anything. At Cholitos, they didn't take much, but they did cause a lot of damage.
If you have any information on the burglaries, please call Las Cruces Crime Stoppers. Las Cruces Crime Stoppers are offering an $1,000 reward for any information that helps identify the man who carjacked a 2017 Toyota Prius. A 76-year-old man was sitting in his Prius waiting to turn onto Amador Avenue when he was approached by a man who asked for a ride to the hospital. However, shortly after, the driver was pushed out of the vehicle and the suspect stole the car. The stolen Toyota Prius was gray in color with a Wisconsin license plate. If you have any information on the suspect who stole the vehicle, please call Las Cruces Crime Stoppers.
Governor Susana Martinez met with President Trump and talked about putting retired law enforcement officers in the schools. School safety is a major issue now after the recent Florida school shooting. Governor Martinez said that she has not said whether she agrees with the president's idea to have the teachers carry guns. One spokesperson for Martinez did mention that the governor does want to put retired law enforcement into the schools. One Albuquerque resource officer says more counselors in the schools would help more than police officers.
Dick's Sporting Goods store has put out a news release after learning one of their stores in Florida was responsible for selling a firearm to the shooter of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School 2 weeks ago. In the news release, the store stated the firearm purchase was not the one used in the shooting, but they realized that it could have been. The company has also implemented some new guidelines for their sale of firearms, including not selling to anyone under 21 years old. They also say they are imploring elected officials to enact common sense gun reform. The news release can be seen at the store's website. A school district in Central Texas is now allowing some teachers and staff to carry guns. Fayette Independent School District has only 286 students from kindergarten through 12th grade.
And the town has no police department and thus no officers to station at the school. Fred Cantu has the story.
The tiny school district here is getting national attention for doing something President Trump suggested in the wake of the recent school shooting in Florida, and that is allowing some of the teachers to carry guns. The sign at the door says it all. The staff may be armed and will use whatever force is necessary to protect our students. Fayetteville ISD Superintendent Jeff Harvey insists this isn't a reaction to the Florida shooting and had been in the works for months.
This is a response to what is for our district. And I think that's the most important part. This is what we believe is in the best interest of Fayetteville ISD.
Jerry Newcomer owns Jerry's General Store in Fayetteville, and he supports the district's plan to allow some guns on campus.
So I think in districts like this, it's a great idea.
But he believes those selected to protect the students should have special training to handle difficult situations.
I think we need to make sure that person could handle that situation.
Yeah.
Not just that you can carry a gun. I think it has to go a little bit further than that.
He'll be happy to know the district agrees and will require training on denying intruder entry annual recertification with their weapon, and more. They want everyone to know they're serious about this.
It's not about being braggadocious. It's not about anything of that nature. This is simply our way of saying this is what we're willing to do to protect our students.
The district says only a group of specially trained staff named Guardians will be able to carry concealed handguns on school grounds.
And gosh, it was a windy day today. I felt like I was being blown away all day long.
I felt the same way. I bet Victoria can tell us more. She's next with weather.
Thanks, guys. This is Victoria Valderrama taking a first look at your current conditions. Right now, we have clear skies with a temperature of 46 degrees. Winds coming from the west at 20 miles per hour. Our humidity is at 38%. Dew point sits at 24 degrees, and our barometer reads at 30.02 inches. Today in Las Cruces, we had a high of 56 degrees, and we woke up to a low of 27 degrees. The average for this day is 41 degrees. Traveling back in time, in 2008, we had a high of 81 degrees, and in 2011, we had a record low of 19 degrees. We had no rain today, so yearly rainfall stays at 0.59 inches. That's all I have for you now. Let's hear back from Amanda and Shelby at the desk.
The nation's largest American Indian reservation has approved an emergency drought declaration. The reservation covers areas in New Mexico, Arizona, and Utah. Tribal officials are anticipating large-scale droughts to persist this summer, which will create a shortage of water and feed for livestock. Officials say that the Navajo ecosystem cannot support the number of feral horses that currently exist.
Businesses between Alameda Avenue to Campos Street and Bowman Avenue to Mountain Avenue may experience low water pressure or discolored water and possibly no water. The City of Las Cruces water section will be replacing a section of water line on Water Street. They are expected to start on Thursday at 9 p.m. until Friday at 3 a.m. The discoloration in the water is due to the iron and manganese deposits. City officials have stated that the water is safe to drink, but recommend waiting for the water to clear before doing your laundry. Amazon's new headquarters is not heading to New Mexico anytime soon. Albuquerque submitted a proposal last year to host Amazon's new American headquarters. Amazon turned New Mexico down due to the lack of resources the state has. It would not be able to host a large corporation. The headquarters would have brought 50,000 jobs to New Mexicans. There has been an ongoing debate between the State Investment Council members on ways to use the state's $23 billion rainy day funds to support out-of-state corporations like Amazon. NMSU students are pushing the administration to take a stronger stand in promoting diversity here on campus.
As News22's Adrian Volinar reports, they want administration to better reflect the student body.
We support diversity!
Protesting for problems involving social justice isn't only done at the nation's capital, but at schools as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are asking for more coordination, so we call for actively promotion.
At New Mexico State University, students from all different backgrounds gathered to speak with the school's provost to address their concerns.
We are here rather than being ignored.
As students meet with staff inside the provost chambers, they're discussing the possibility of including more diverse programs at NMSU. In the future, Provost Dan Howard hopes to continue working together and improve dialogue with the student body.
Okay. So, my feeling
Students like Darnicia Holt hope to influence NMSU policymakers to help create curriculum that's more inclusive of ethnic heritage.
Like that diversity is everybody's business, and that being able to have a university of rich history should include everyone's history, and not just post-colonization, but pre-colonization as well.
As staff members hear concerns, students hope that in the future this translates into action.
Kind of making sure that we promote as far as the injustices that are happening around in our country, as well as here on the university, because many people do not know.
Reporting for News22, I'm Adrian Molina.
Stay tuned, and Victoria will be back with your national forecast.
And later, we'll take a look on how chaos can be created into art. More on that when News22 continues.
I'm Nora Michaud, Program Manager for KRWG. Sewing with Nancy continues the tradition of bringing the best in contemporary sewing, quilting, and home decorating ideas to public television viewers. Join Nancy Zeman and her guests as they share the love of the sewing arts by exploring the latest ideas in one of the country's most popular crafts. Tune in Wednesdays at 2:30 p.m. as we sew together some new ideas. For more programming information, visit krwg.org.
At a recent KRWG coffee visit, we talked with KRWG fans about why they value public media.
Public media is really essential for bringing in new ideas and different perspectives.
That I have access in what is considered a rural community. It's really important to me.
Become a member online at krwg.org. Call 1-888-922-5794. Thank you.
Welcome back. You're watching News 22 Wednesday,
where news matters.
And Vicki is coming up with a first look at weather. A report says that 1 in 14 women still smoke while pregnant. The findings reveal more than 7% of all expecting mothers smoke despite knowing the risks. The percentage of pregnant smokers vary widely by maternal age, race, education, and state. The prevalence of smoking was highest in West Virginia and lowest in California. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, any amount of smoking during pregnancy is too much. The study was done by the CDC's National Center for Health Statistics. More and more people are using e-cigarettes to kick the habit.
But a new study shows vaping may not work. Here's Zach Corvette with today's Health Minute.
15 years, e-cigarettes have been billed as a safer alternative to traditional cigarettes. But a study found e-cigs can make it harder to quit smoking. And in most cases, people end up vaping and smoking. The study also found daily e-cig use can double the risk of a heart attack. If you are a dual user who is vaping and smoking every day, the combined risk for heart attack goes up 5 times. E-cigs have lower levels of carcinogens than cigarettes, but researchers say the electronic versions have other toxins that can have detrimental effects, like increased cardiovascular and lung disease risks. If you are a smoker, here's something you can do now. Stop. Scientists say stopping smoking immediately drops your risk for heart attack. This has been Zach Covert with today's Health Minute.
A new study reveals an increase in the number of teens either sending or receiving sexually explicit texts. The study, which focused on data since 2008, was published Monday by the journal JAMA Pediatrics. It defines sexting as the sending or receiving of nude or semi-nude images or sexually explicit text messages. According to the journal, the biggest concern is the possibility of photos or messages being spread to other people. Researchers say sexting can cause severe emotional distress, and preteens can be particularly vulnerable. The study says age-specific information on sexting should be part of sex education. There are lots of creative people in Las Cruces, and many of them make amazing art.
This past Saturday, lots of young artists exhibited their work. News 22's Marlene Barraza was there.
The beats of the drums filled the atmosphere at this 3rd annual Chaos Collaboration. It's a 2-day event that gives teen artists a chance to express themselves and let others see their work.
There's so much talent out there that I don't think they get enough exposure. And, other members of the community get to come in and witness the talent that we actually have here amongst these students.
Live music completed the scene, while an artist who calls himself Saba did live screen printing. He designed the logo for this year's Chaos Collaboration, and he can print it on any type of shirt. He says the event is an opportunity to connect with other artists.
This is a great event that brings together people like me who do art for a living to help inspire and teach them and encourage them to continue doing art.
Art has no mistakes, but Saba just told me that art is a mistake in itself.
And Joey Heredia says that's true. She brought her sculpture, she calls it the bird, and she says it doesn't matter how it looks. Art is not perfect.
Don't compare yourself to others. It's really important that you're like, oh, mine looks horrible compared to theirs, because all art is different, so yours is unique and beautiful.
Research shows that art not only enforces relationships, but it also improves a person's physical and mental well-being.
Well, it's very therapeutic, and like I said, it gives you a chance to express yourself in not a verbal type of way, and so you can convey different feelings that you have through your artwork, and so it is an outlet, and it's a positive outlet.
And while you may not like everything here, remember, it's said that art is in the eye of the beholder, and everyone will have their own interpretation. I'm Marlene Barraza for News 22.
And I hear we're not the only ones getting this windy weather.
Well, thankfully it's not just us. And Victoria's next with the weather.gov national forecast.
In today's national forecast, El Paso also had some windy conditions at 58 degrees, Lubbock at 68 degrees, Dallas at 70, New Orleans at 84, and Memphis had some rain at 67. But in our next map, focusing more on the East Coast, they will be having some low pressure system from Friday to Saturday. They will have some coastal flooding, beach erosion, and high winds. And that's what they can be expecting from these next few days. That's all I have for you now, but I'll be back with you in New Mexico local conditions. You're watching News 22 Wednesday.
Fresh Air with Terry Gross, weekday mornings at 11 on 90.7 FM and streaming live on KRWG.org.
Baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away.
Saturday at 10:30 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
It's you I like. Hi, I'm Michael Keaton. Come to the Mr. Rogers neighborhood and celebrate programs that have inspired more than 4 generations of children and parents.
Oh, I love this. Is the one where you can blow really, really hard.
It's really magic. It's so far beyond just entertainment.
Well-known friends share their heartfelt memories on Mr. Rogers. It's you I like.
Saturday morning at 8:30 on KRWG-TV.
Welcome back. So today we had some pretty strong winds. I was able to go outside our studio and capture this footage for you guys. Las Cruces is currently under wind advisory, so please be aware. But in other places around New Mexico, Farmington currently is at 44 degrees, Santa Fe at 35 degrees, Clovis at 52, Ruidoso at 36, and Deming at 43 degrees. Tomorrow in New Mexico, New Mexico will also currently Roswell is at 53 degrees, Albuquerque at 45 degrees, Gallup at a low 37 degrees, Las Cruces we are at 46 degrees, and Santa Fe at 35 degrees. That's all I have for you New Mexico local conditions, but stay tuned for your 5-day forecast.
A Texas woman is in the hospital after an incident in a Walmart parking lot.
That's the first story in tonight's Southwest Minute.
Police are looking for the driver of a pickup truck in this surveillance video from February 9th. It shows the truck slamming into a woman without stopping. Another person came to the woman's aid and she was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police are asking for the public's help identifying the driver. Drivers on Interstate 17 in Phoenix experienced some unusual traffic backup today. Public safety workers and firefighters stopped and diverted traffic to catch 2 dogs running on the freeway. One was captured on the freeway, while the other one ran into a mobile home trailer park where he was caught. Animal Care is looking for the owners or trying to find them permanent homes. Police responding to a burglary call in California discovered a barn full of explosives. Residents within a half-mile radius were evacuated, including students at an elementary school. Officials say the sticks of dynamite are from the early 1960s and are too unstable to manipulate on site. The bomb squad is using special trailers to move the dynamite to a secluded area where it can be detonated safely. This has been Zach Covert with your Southwest Minute.
And I hear the Las Cruces High basketball team has been very good.
That's exciting. I'm sure that Megan can tell us more. She's next with sports.
Thanks, guys. Coming up in sports, the Borderlands are getting a professional soccer team. Don't go too far because News 22 Sports is next.
On Masterpiece.
Christmas will always be a time of enchantment.
Would you like to build a snowman?
A snowman.
I'll show you. An uncle has left me some property.
No one escapes unhappiness.
How sad to be a widow.
Better a widow than an old maid.
Is this not magnificent?
Magical.
May I have the honor, ma'am?
Victoria, the season finale on Masterpiece.
Thursday at 8 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
Everybody, how do you do? Well, kids, we were all pretty scared.
You're on 24 hours a day. We had each other. And we brought that to the music. It was just a circus. The music wasn't being heard. I always like singing Help because I meant it. It's real. You were normal and the rest of the world was crazy.
Friday at 8 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
This is KRWG-TV News 22 Sports.
Get ready, get set. I'm Megan Millette, and let's talk sports. The Aggie football team has their first open scrimmage this Saturday at 3. The team started spring practice last week, their first practice since their historic bowl win in Tucson last December. News 22's Dave Guest was in attendance for this Saturday's District 3 6A Tournament Championship. Here's the story.
The Las Cruces Bulldogs suffered their first loss of the season to Hobbs this Saturday, 72-67. The game went back and forth with 16 lead changes before Hobbs opened the gap with an 11-2 run late in the fourth quarter. Head coach William Benjamin will take his team to the Class 6A state tournament as a number 2 seed. The team hopes to avenge their runner-up placement from last season. They'll get their start at Dreamstyle Arena Saturday at 7 p.m. as they take on number 15 seed Sandia.
The NMSU softball team split their doubleheader against Texas Tech, losing their first game 7-4 and winning the second game 3-1. A strong pitching showing from duo Samaria Diaz and freshman relief pitcher Annalise De La Roca gave the Aggie Bats a rest and split the series. The Aggies play next in Tempe, Arizona in the Devil Classic this weekend against Arizona State and Coastal Carolina. The NMSU baseball team is looking forward to hosting Harvard after their loss to the University of Arizona yesterday. The Aggies traveled to Tucson for a quick midweek game where they lost 5-4. NMSU scored first, but a huge 5-run fourth inning for the Wildcats was too much for the Aggies. The baseball team will have a 3-game series this weekend against Harvard here at home. El Paso Mountain Star Sports Group is bringing a USL professional soccer team to the Borderlands, according to KVIA and the El Paso Times. The USL, or the United Soccer League, is a Division II professional soccer league with 33 teams across the nation. The El Paso team will be one of the 6 new expansion teams the league is adding to their arsenal this coming season. The team will be playing next year at Southwest University Park. And that's all for sports tonight. Join us for more sports action tomorrow. Still ahead on News 22, Victoria will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast. But first, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Have a snowball fight. More on that when News 22 continues.
Take a sentimental journey back in time. It's the greatest music from the big band years.
Pardon me, boy, is that the Chattanooga choo-choo? Yes, yes.
Don't sit under the apple tree.
Sunday at 8 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
What's your
lo-fi music for a classic night of R&B with rhythm, love, and soul.
Monday at 9 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
Let's take a look at our top stories. A reward is being offered for information on 2 Las Cruces burglaries, one at Cholitos Restaurant and Red Hot Golf Club. NMSU students are marching and demanding more diversity on campus, putting pressure on administration to take a stronger stand. And Marlene Barraza showed us some local artists who are proud of their art no matter what others say or think.
This is something you won't see every day. It's a snowball fight in St. Peter's Square at the Vatican. An overnight storm brought at least 2 inches of snow to Rome, the city's biggest reported snowfall since 2012. It was enough to bring the city to a halt, temporary closing schools and transportation. Rome's Mediterranean climate usually results in very mild, even warm winters. So for now, residents can't help but revel in the white stuff. But can you blame them? I would do the same.
Yeah.
I would do the same.
Who would think that they would have snow and like
we
would be hotter, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at our 5-day.
All right, so you guys, today we had some windy conditions, but we won't really be seeing that for the rest of the week. We are going to be having sunny skies. We're going to stay like in the mid 60s, and on Friday we'll have a high of 73, and on Saturday a high of 75, and at night we will be dipping into the low 30s, Saturday with a low of 40, but overall we have some good conditions.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Don't forget, you can catch all of today's aired stories and past newscasts on our YouTube page at youtube.com/KRWG News22.
And follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat for show updates and the latest on what News 22 is up to. And that's all for News 22. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight.
Tune in tomorrow as we look at the news from across the Southwest. I'm Shelby Kapp.
I'm Amanda Avame.
And I'm Victoria Valderrama.
Good night.
Good night.
This news brief in Espanol is brought to you by Noticias 22, Spanish language news for southern New Mexico and West Texas. Noticias 22.
Dominique, congratulations